Hello everyone. So in this video, we're going to talk about callback retrieving the same position on the queue. Okay. So we're going to talk about how we can implement it, how we can deploy this contact flow on the Amazon Connect. So we're going to use this so Amazon Connect as an amazing feature called callback feature. So we are customer or caller who could retrieve the same position on the queue and get a callback. So customer do not have to wait in the queue for hours and hours. So when you talk about business, customers are always king in any business. Okay, so that's obvious. So when using this customer callback feature, probably hereafter I'll call the customers as callers. So callers do not have to wait in the queue anymore with Amazon Connect callback feature. The worst customer experience would be callers wait in the queue for hours to be answered by an agent. Okay. By the time the agent answers the call, mostly callers are frustrated, and this is kind of a very bad customer experience. So callers do not have to wait in the queue, so they can they can set up a callback option, and then they can disconnect from the contact flow. Okay, so they can do their own productive work or whatever the work they are doing. So whenever the caller position retrieves on the queue, uh, caller position retrieves on the queue. So callers would be automatically getting a call from the uh, company or contact center saying that he has made a call back. Okay, so likewise, customer will be not losing the position on the queue. Also, like customer will be assisted for their requirement. Okay, so we'll see that how this can be implemented using the Amazon Connect. So Amazon Connect is very simple way. So I will take you through the technical configuration and contact flow configurations as well, how we can deploy the script. So when you talk about contact flow, before talking the contact flow, you need to understand how this works actually. So let's assume that we have like customer A to G, and there's another customer called H who's already browsing the IVR and would like to enter the queue. So there's one agent who's answering all the calls. Okay. So on the top, I have mentioned the each and every customer positions. Okay. Let's assume that customer C and F are very busy customers. They have a lot of work. They are on the work or they are somewhere else, so they don't want to keep the phone uh, be on the call all the time. Okay, so they are thinking that they don't have to wait in the queue, and they are very busy customers. So what they do is they set up a callback. Customer C and F set up a callback. Once, as soon as they set up a callback, they become a virtual customers. Okay, virtual customers on the queue. Okay, so they are not losing the position here. So customer C still on the second position, and customer F still on the fifth position. Okay, so the agent is answering the calls. Agent is already answering as ex customer. Okay, so customer is the next person who's gonna make get answered. Okay, so customer, now the agent is assisting the customer A. The customer B is the customer is gonna get answered next, and he got promoted from the first position to zeroth position. Okay, the customer C was the on the second position in the queue and get promoted as a first position, but he is still a virtual customer. Still, the customer already disconnected the call. He's on some other work. Okay. Uh, okay, so now agent has assisted customer B. So customer C get promoted to the zeroth position. Is the next person going to get answers the call? Still, the agent is not in the call, not in the queue. So he's gonna get answer. He's gonna get the call next. So once his position comes back, once the agent assisted customer B, he will be the next customer will be assisted. Okay, so in this case, customer agent has assisted customer B. So what happens is there the customer on the previous slide, you can see that customer C is virtually there, but he's doing some other work. He has already disconnected from the call flow. Okay, so he, as soon as his positions comes on the queue, okay, so customer C will get a outbound call from the agent. Okay, the customer agent phones rings. Okay, so we'll see how this can be implemented using the call script. So this is the call script that I have developed. Okay. So just give me a moment. I'll open a little bigger one than this. Okay, so in my contact flow, so this is how I have designed my contact flow. So there are a lot of other things that you could include in this contact flow as well. Okay, so I'm setting up the logging behavior. So you can see the logs on the CloudWatch. They're gonna be a welcome prompt. Thank you for calling my lab contact center. So I added this language menu only for testing purposes. Like, whenever there's some issue, I just skip this all these steps and directly put it to the callback option and test. I was testing it, so that's why I was having two menus here. So they are gonna be a language menu. Press one for English and press two for Chinese. Okay, so whatever the language they select, they will be sent to the queue. Okay, so here the next step, actually, I'm actually checking on this position. I'm checking the queue status. Okay, I'm just checking the queue status and what is the queue, how long the customer has to wait on the queue. I'm just playing that queue status, queue time to the customer. Okay, if customer has to wait less than 15 seconds, I'm just transferring that call to the queue. Okay, so he's gonna get answered in another 15 seconds. So if it's greater or equal to 15 seconds, I'm going to play the prompt saying you have to wait greater than 15 seconds. So again, getting the customer, I'm using a get customer input uh, method, and using a menu prompt. Would you like to receive a callback? Because he's going to wait in the queue, so he's going to wait greater than 15 seconds in the queue, and get answered. And also you can play the customer position in the queue. Maybe his fifth position, his 10th position, his 15th position. Okay, so and we can play. Okay, so on the in this menu, get customer input, would you like, so your waiting time is greater than 15 seconds. Would you like to receive a call back on would you like to receive a call back retrieving the same position? Yes or no. If say customer says no, I don't want to, I mean, it probably say press one for retrieve the same position, and press two if you would like to stay in the queue. If customer press two, it probably transfer to the normal queue. And if he says uh, no, no, I don't want to stay in the queue, I'm going to disconnect, yeah, you can press two. So after that, what I'm doing is I'm setting a contract attribute, and I'm setting the customer number as the calling number. Okay, so here what I'm really doing is in this get customer output, I'll show in my configuration. So what I'm really doing is I'm gonna play. Okay, so you would like to receive the callback from the same calling number. I'm gonna say that calling number. So that's why I set it to the set the customer number to the calling number. Okay, so I'm gonna play that number and say, if the customer want to say yes, I would like to receive to the same calling number, you can press one, and after that I'm setting the callback number, and I'm transferring to the queue, and customer would be disconnected, and he will retrieve the call. He will receive a call once his positions uh, closest to the agent. I mean, it once his positions answered by an agent. Okay, so if he wanted to keep a different number, okay, I'm again asking to input his new number. Okay, so once he input the number, I'm setting it to a new customer callback number, and again I'm getting a customer input and asking the customer. So you have entered this number XYZ, my 1 2 3 4 5 6 number, and would you like to receive a callback on this number or new number? Okay, if customer says yes, that's the correct number, I'm setting that new callback number to the number that I recently received from the customer and transferring to the callback queue. Okay, so here you can handle more, I mean, more efficiently. Like if customer making a mistake more than three times, or more, I mean, equal to three times, you can disconnect these calls. You have entered more than three times, or you don't want to disconnect the call. That's a really bad experience. You can transfer it a queue, saying that you have incorrectly typed more than three times, and we can transfer back to the queue itself. Okay, and we can more treat the call. But I was really focusing on about this feature only in this contact flow. Okay, so next we are going to see the how I have configured on the contact flow. Okay, so we'll go to the contact flow, and so callback. So that's my script that I have developed. Hopefully you can see. So they have updated the GUI now. Okay, so this is where I start the contact flow. So setting up the calling behavior, and I'm just playing up. Thank you for calling my lab contact center. Okay, so initially, so it's since I'm using just one queue, initially itself I'm setting up lab one queue. You can set it anywhere before you're transferring to the queue. Okay, so here I'm just getting the input. Press one for English and press two for Chinese. So then I'm checking, okay, in this I'm using a check queue status option, and agent time in the queue is great row equal to 15 seconds. Okay, you have 15 minutes, 15 hours, 15 milliseconds. I'm just if it's greater than great row equal to 15 seconds, I'm gonna play wait time is greater than 15 seconds. If it's less than 15 seconds, wait time is less than 15 seconds. I'm gonna play that. Okay, so if it's less than 15 seconds, I'm gonna play less than 15 seconds. I'm directly transferring to the queue, which is the queue one queue, lab queue one queue, which is my queue, and I'm disconnecting the flow. Customer will be sent to the queue. Okay, if it's greater than 15 seconds, caller will be offered with the flow offered with an option. If you would like to receive a callback retrieving the same position, press one. If you would like to stay on the queue, press two. Okay, if they press 2, it will be again transferred to the queue. If they want to set up a callback, the next option what I'm doing is there's a user making a user defined attribute and making it as a calling number. So I'm taking the customer's call number. Okay, so I'm using a get customer input attribute. Okay, so here I'm playing a little tricky part here. So I'm using a SSML to say gonna speak. I mean, if you just mention s attribute dot calling number, probably it would say as 90,000, not 90,000. It's 9 million, 150 something like that. But I'm just defining say as interpret telephone, so that it would it would uh, it would play as uh, 1 2 1 2 3 4 5 6 in that way. Otherwise it would be like it would be like 9 million, so probably that's not how we tell someone the number. Okay, so it will play the number. If press 1 if you would like to receive a callback on press 1 if you would like to receive a callback on this number, press 1. If you would like to receive a callback on a different number, please press 2. Okay, so if customer press 1, I'm setting the yeah, I've used a lot of prompts here to understand if there's any. You can watch, you can see all the errors on the CloudWatch. It's another work. So what I do is on these all these errors, I make it as like said customer input error code 2022, so I know you have to come and check. Okay, so since there are a lot of great customer input, so I just put a error code number also here, so that I'm sure that this is the call is getting disconnected if there's some error is going on. Okay, so if customer press 1, yes, you would like to receive a callback on the same calling number. I'm setting that callback number, setting up that callback number. Okay, using a user define. If customer can receive only on the calling number, then you can select a systems, and you can select the customer number. But here it's a different scenario. I'm selecting user defined, and I'm setting up is as a calling number. Okay, so he will then, as soon as he set up the call, he will receive a there will I'm using an, again it's a transfer to queue. So on the transfer to queue you have two options here. Okay, one is transfer to queue, transfer to callback queue. Okay, so you can set up the initial delay is 99 seconds and the maximum price it will try twice with the customers with the delay of 10 minutes. Okay, okay, so it will set up a callback here. So customer will become a virtual customer caller in the queue. Okay, so then transfer your call to your callback queue, and then I'm disconnecting the call flow. So customer also got will be disconnected. Okay, so as soon as this customer set up a callback, he will be virtually there on the queue, but he's not in the queue physically. Okay, he's doing some other work. Okay, let's say, okay, let's customer. I mean, just miss this. Okay, okay. Let's say if customer press two here. Okay, so if let's assume the customer is pressed that it's a you want to receive a call back on a different calling number. Okay, in that the case, I'm just asking, please enter the number that you would like to call you back. Okay, here I'm gonna receive a number format. I'm selecting as a phone number and my country code at the moment, and I'm gonna get the call back. Okay, uh, so probably it's like, so it's eight numbers. Probably it will get the eight numbers from here. Okay, Uh, so here the delay timeout before the each entry would be 5 seconds. Okay, so if it's invalid number, it get disconnected. So I didn't handle all the error conditions and invalid numbers since it's a test lab. So, but in a real production, we need to handle all these errors and invalid numbers if customer entered anything incorrectly. Okay, maybe we will have to ask the customer to enter again on this, and or like playback number has to be 8 digits or 9 digits or 10 digits, something like that. Okay, so I'm setting afterwards, if the customer entered the right number and if it's successful, I'm setting the customer number to the new customer callback number. And then what I'm trying to do is, again I'm playing that number again back to the customer as shown as previously shown in the flow chart. Okay, here also I'm setting that attribute to as a ssml, so where it could tell the customer as like 9 x 1 2 3 4 5 6 7, like kind of that. And then press 1 if it's correct, press 2 if it's not correct. Okay, if it's not correct, I'm just setting asking the customer number again. So it's unlimitedly go and ask the customer number again and again. Okay, so then once the customer once I set up the callback number, so once that is success, I'm setting it to the callback queue, as I'm only one callback queue I've configured. Okay, and then I'm just letting the customer, okay, the call is transferred to the callback queue, and I'm disconnecting this flow. So very simple one. Okay, um, yeah, okay, so now we do some testing. So one other thing that I forgot to tell you. So okay, you might have a question where this when we put a transfer to queue, where does this call goes? Okay, how customer will be called? So actually, it will use the in my case, it will use the default outbound flow, but you can develop your own flow. Like you can say that we are getting a call, you are getting a call for your callback. We had retrieved the same position, so you're the next customer to answer. So what you have to do is to see that you can uh, go to this routing and click on queues. Okay, so these are the queues. I'm using a lab 1 queue right now. Um, so if you click on lab 1 queue, okay, so here. Okay, probably you would be not able to see because I don't want to display my numbers. So you will see. So probably it will use this outbound whisper flow. So I'm using a default outbound, okay, which is already configured. So I'm using that. You can select what however the callback. If you if you have ported different numbers, you can use those numbers. If you have different contact flow for the outbound call, you can use that. Okay. So what really happens behind the processes? We'll go to that. We go and check the default outbound flow. Default outbound. Okay, so this is the okay. So this is the outbound flow. So when it will be generated a call using this flow. So as soon as the customer answers the call, customer would hear this is the outbound call tested for callback. Okay, you can say we are calling you back regarding the recent callback that you have uh, received. Okay, so we have retrieved the same position on the queue, saving your time, and then the agent will connect in 5 seconds or 10 seconds. Okay, so this is, I just want to let you know on that. So for that, what you have to do is go to the routing and go to the queue. On the queue, whatever the queue you have setting it, maybe for me it's lab q1. So on the lab q1, you can select the default outbound flow on the outbound whisper. So when you start configuring it, you might get these questions. Okay, so it's time for us to test. So I'll make the first call.
Thank you for calling
I'm not
my
sure that
lab
we could hear
contact
that.
center.
Says
Press
thank you
1
for
for
calling.
English and press 2 for Chinese.
Press 1 for English, press 2 for, I'm gonna press 1.
Wait time is less than 15 seconds.
The wait time is
Thank
less
you
than
for
15
calling.
seconds. I'm
Your
immediately
call is
getting the
very
call.
important to us and will be answered in the order it was received.
Okay, I'm gonna answer this call.
Lab Q1.
Test. Okay, the call is there, ongoing. Just bear with me for a minute, I'll mute it. Okay, alright. Um, okay, so I'm on the call right now. So we will wait for another 15 seconds time. Probably you could see the timing over here. So we'll wait for 15 seconds so that the second caller would receive the wait time is 15 seconds, more than 15 seconds, so that it's easy for the second caller to set up the callback. I mean, we have to call the second caller because otherwise, so I'm calling from my second phone number.
Thank you for calling my lab contact center. Press 1 for English and press 2 for Chinese. Wait time is less than 15 seconds.
Yeah, probably there's no any
Thank you
wait
for
time in the
calling.
queue, so
Your call
probably
is
he
very
will also
important to
be
us
stayed in the
and will
queue.
be answered in the
Okay,
order it was received.
so let him wait in the queue for 15 more than 15 seconds, so the third caller would receive it's greater than 15 seconds. Okay, I'm gonna call from the my third phone. Okay, so yes, waited there for 30 seconds. I mean, yeah, 15 more than 15 seconds right now. I'm gonna call the number.
Thank you for calling my lab contact center. Press 1 for English and press 2 for Chinese.
I'm pressing one.
Wait time is greater than 15 seconds. If you would like to receive a call back retrieving the same position, press 1. If you would like to stay in the queue, press 2.
I'm gonna press one.
If you would like to receive call back on same calling number plus 659 093 0653, press 1. If you would like to receive a call back on different number, please press 2.
So I'm gonna press one here because I would like to receive the callback number.
Transfer to the callback queue.
So did you hear that? It transferred to the callback queue and the call got disconnected. So my third call got disconnected. So I'm gonna call another customer also on the queue. So that I could show you that how many callers are calling in right now. Just bear with me for a minute. So I'm waiting for my one of my friend to call the queue. So on the real-time matrix, you can see that go to the queue. Okay, on the lab one queue. So there are two calls queued. Okay, so one call is already one is on contact, and there's two calls being queued. One is a virtual contact, and the second one is uh, it's already on the queue. Okay, which is on my another number. Okay, so I'm waiting for my friend to call that number. Just bear with me for a minute. All right. So there's another one of my friend also in the queue right now. So before him there is a callback. Okay. So let's see how these things work. So if you let's say that our callback feature is how it is working. So there is already a customer that I'm already answering right now. That is one call that is already with the agent. The second call is already in the queue. The third call, I made a call back. The fourth call already in the queue. Okay. So there is already in the queue. It says already three calls in the queue. Okay. So just give me a moment. Okay. So what I'm gonna do here is okay. All right. So I'm gonna end this call right now. So there's another second call which I made it from my phone. I'm going once soon as end the call, when I close the contact, the second call comes in. I'm accepting the call.
Lab Q1.
It says
It
lab
says lab
Q1.
Q1.
The call
The
has been
call is being
answered.
answered.
Okay,
Okay.
so
So
the next
the
call
next
is a
call is a
callback call.
callback call.
Okay, so I'm gonna mute it here since this side. Okay, I'm gonna disconnect that call. The call is disconnected. It's a close contact. So the next call I have to receive a outbound call. Okay, okay. Do you see there is a outbound call is being made to my number. Okay, So so there's an outbound call is being made. You can see that callback incoming. Okay, it says callback incoming. uh, okay, I missed the call. It's gonna be have a two attempts, so I'm gonna accept the call. So as soon as I'm
Lab
accept the call,
Q1.
it says lab q1.
The M1 customer you're calling is currently unavailable. Please try again later.
Okay,
Thank
I
you.
received the call and my
The
phone is on
M1
silent.
customer you're calling is currently unavailable.
Okay, so I'm receiving the other call.
Lab Q1.
Okay, so I answer that call. So actually my last attempt was actually failed, so we're gonna try out again. I'm sorry about that. So I'm gonna call the customer care number. Okay,
Is less than 15 seconds. Thank you for calling. Your
so I'm
call is
getting the
very
call.
important to us and will be answered in the order
uh,
it was received.
I'm accepting
Lab
the call.
Q1.
Okay,
Okay.
the call is
The call
connected.
is connected.
I'm gonna
I'm
mute
gonna mute
this.
it.
All right, I've muted this call. Okay, the call is connected right now. So I'm gonna make the second call and make that call waited for more than 15 seconds, and I'm gonna make the third call. Calling my lab contact center. Press 1 for English and press 2 for Chinese. Wait time is less than 15 seconds. Thank you for calling. Your call is very important to us and will be answered in the order it was received. Okay, I'm gonna switch off the loudspeaker on this call right now. Okay, let's wait for another 10 seconds, and then I'm gonna make the call from my mobile phone. Earlier my mobile phone was on sleep mode, so actually it went to the call didn't get through. Okay, it's waited more than 15 seconds. I'm gonna make the call. Thank you for calling my lab contact center. Press 1 for English and press 2 for Chinese. Wait time is greater than 15 seconds. If you would like to receive a call back retrieving the same position, press 1. If you would like to stay in the queue, press 2. If you would like to receive call back on same calling number +659 09. If you would like to receive a call back on different number, please press 2. I'm gonna get the call back on the same calling number. I pressed 1. Transfer to the callback queue. Okay, my call got disconnected this time. Okay, um, let's check on the screen. Uh, okay, so uh, there are one call on the queue. Okay, So all right, so there was okay. So I'm getting the call back. Actually, I my phone into
Lab
the silent
Q1.
mode, so that's why the last two call didn't go through. So this time I'm getting the call right now. I'm gonna get answered.
Call tested for callback.
So I'm connected to the call. That's how it works. Thank you. Thank you for watching my video.